Good morning.
Morning, Stephen.
Hope we're doing well. Good
Yeah.
morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Welcome to the show. As always, we're going to get started within the first 5 minutes this morning. Going to get started within the first 5 minutes this morning. We've got 5 to 6 minutes to get moving, get stretched out, get situated, and set up. We are in for 4 by 10 minutes today, week 6, live 1. 4 by 10 minutes, about 3 to 4 minutes off on the rest. Looks like everybody has arrived right on time. You do have a couple minutes here if you're going to take some strokes and get stretched out, but within about the next 3 to 4 minutes, we're going to start making the call to make the move over to the live session in erg zone. But you do have about 2 to 3 minutes now to take some extra strokes. Week 6 live 1, 4 by 10 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes off. We're running stroke rates of 16, 18, 20, and 22. 16, 18, 20, and 22. Percent of SPI range this morning is 72 to 79%. Erg zone is programmed at 75, so you can be, plus or minus 10, 15, 20 watts on that target. I'm going to recommend that we all start off closer to that 72% on the first piece and go from there. We can always add intensity on the following pieces if we need to or if we'd like to, but let's use the first one to sort of assess and see how we feel. The stroke rates and the SPI will catch up to you. I promise you that. But I know that we'll see some rowers today up closer to the 80%, and then we'll see some rowers down closer to that 70%. And that is okay. That's why we have a pretty wide range here. All right, so 2 to 3 minutes before we get moving, 2 to 3 minutes. If you're done taking strokes and warming up and you're moving on to your stretching, go ahead and get moved over in erg zone while you're doing that so we can just be prepped and ready to go. Last night's session finished right on time to the minute, so we don't have a whole lot of extra time this morning.
Stephen, on the PM5, is there a way to tell what our SPI is?
Not on the PM5, it's only on erg zone.
Okay.
Yeah, PM5 only displays those limited numbers, but erg zone gets us a heck of a lot more data. The important stuff, I'll say. And I see a handful of you rolling into the line, so I'll start making some calls. I hear you, Rachel. I will do my best to speak up. So we're going to give that 2-minute warning here. We're going to give you that 2-minute warning. If you're not already up at the line, we'll start making our way there. I do have Ira, John, Barb, Catherine, Laura, Missy, Tristan, Mel, and Jill ready to go. Tice and Michelle have already started this morning. Tice is still on there. Nice work. Good morning. Jill, Joe, Kevin, Rachel at the line. Starting to see these numbers add up. Casey, you're there. Scott. Always a reminder, let's just use that length to our advantage. All right, let's row well, let's row long, loose, relax. Use your length to your advantage so we have that extra power and force to give it at the end. We want to be able to move and progress through this. We always feel good on the first one. That'll never change. Last call here. Last call. I've got Ira, John, Barb, Catherine, Laura, Missy. Tristan, Mel, Jill, Joe, Kevin, Rachel, Casey, Scott, Alyssa, Libby. I think that accounts for everyone here this morning. Long, relaxed, tall, consistent. Starting off with 16 strokes a minute. Let's go ahead and get our feet strapped in. Last little bit to prepare. Do something crazy to get my attention if you're not ready. We are looking good, rowers. All right, everybody. Take a deep breath. Let's slide up to the catch, pick up those handles. Let's sit ready. 10 minutes here, 10 minutes up ahead. Relax early. Sit ready. Ready all. Row. As always, it's early this morning. We're going to get looser as we continue to take some strokes. So let's work on getting loose early. Sort of oil those joints here as we take our first strokes. Relaxing the neck, arms, and shoulders. Working on the big pivot of the hips. Establishing a nice long stroke before we break those knees and slide up into that catch. Set the bodies. Forget it. Set it and forget it. Get those hips back. No last minute or sudden movements. No last minute or sudden changes here. Right? We don't want to see a last minute raise of the hands, a last minute reach of the arms. Everything is about preparation, being prepped and ready to go. We're anticipating that change in direction at the catch. Hips and hands as we pivot and set the bodies. Arms out long, hips set back, neck, arms, and shoulders relaxed. Keeping the head high early, getting the head and shoulders in front of the hips. As we look at our SPI percentages here, I'm seeing everyone pretty much right on target. Seeing some mid to high 60%, all the way up to some high 70s and 80s. Again, just pace it well. Remember, we've got 40 minutes of work here this morning. We want to go the distance, and the rate is going to climb. So let's just be smart and make sure we can add to the watts as we progress through the pieces. Chin up, chest up. Make sure I can see your neck because we're sitting up tall. Drop those shoulders down to the floor. I want to be able to see your neck. Lots of distance between the ears and the shoulders here. Lots of time as we roll into the catch. Always reaching. Big pivot of the hips there, Rachel, before we slide. It doesn't need to be super segmented or sequential, right? We don't need to get the arms out entirely first before we pivot the hips. All about establishing the hips on the front of the seat before we slide up into that catch. 16 strokes a minute. Everyone's right on target. Pushing the catches away. Loose, long, and relaxed, neck, arms, and shoulders. Shoulders in front of the ears as we connect to that catch. Let the legs do the heavy lifting. Legs do the catch and accelerate the upper body back. Use the weight to the advantage. Connect the hips to the handle. Every time we go heavy to the feet, we go light on the seat only by hanging and suspending on that handle. Looking for that 135 on the watts there, Kevin's trying to hit that 135, somewhere between 120 and 135 on that pacing. We're approaching our first rating shift, and it's just a small, subtle change. We're going to go from 16 to 18 strokes a minute. We're going to begin to take the catches just a little bit quicker and just a little less patience around the back end. Looking at your new watt target here on 18 strokes a minute rowers, 18. As always, it's important we're setting the hips, getting the length. Don't change anything about that catch position. Nice work. Nice work. Everyone is within about those single digits on your targets. Finding that 18. Some of you might find that the 18 is more challenging than other stroke rates there. Work to find the consistency. And quiet in the upper bodies. We're very still in the upper body. Quiet in the body. Sit still on top of that erg. Once we set the body in front of the hips, we pass the baton over to the legs. We let the lower body take over. Thinking about legs in, legs out. Control the knees as they lift up and we slide into the catch. Arms are long, but don't lock those elbows now. Check yourself, check yourself. Nothing stiff, tense, or rigid. Loose, long, and relaxed. Good pivot there, Barb. Hips back. We're reaching for the catch, reaching for that catch there, Joe. Reminder for the guys there, really pivot those hips here early. Hips back, sitting on those hamstrings, head high, chin up, chest up. Thinking about stretching the body out, stretch out the hips and the handle, lots of distance. Good work there, Casey. Nice long stroke. 148 on that drive length. Nicely done, keeping it long. Upper body is loose while we drive through the hips. Good work there, Libby. Long strokes on 157. Laura, 4-5. Let's take the next minute here and focus on drive length. Loose, long, and relaxed. Reaching through those shoulders. I like to say expose the lats by getting the shoulders out in front. Hanging on the bones, if you will, hanging on the bones. Keeping the chins level. Keeping the chins level, nothing vertical, we're not lifting. Hips and handle now, moving together in and out of that catch. Hips and handle. Don't scoot the tail. Keep the hips back away from the heels. And once again, we're approaching our next rating shift here. Within about the next 10 to 15 seconds, we're going to move up to 20 strokes a minute. We're still looking for about that mid 70% SPI. Here we go, rowers, resetting, moving on, 20 strokes a minute, and we are 3 minutes away from that finish line. Keep it easy, keep it long, relax and recover on the way into every catch. We're on 20s now, finding that 20 strokes a minute, finding it. Good work, everyone, settling into that new watt range, 20 strokes a minute. As we start to take a little bit faster strokes, as we take some quicker strokes here, it's more important that the body is still. Everything is prepped and ready to go in anticipation to applying that power, in anticipation to suspending and hanging and loading on that catch. Chin up, chest up there, gentlemen. Chin up, chest up. Reaching long to that catch. Load the hips. Swing to the body. Head and shoulders back to the finish as we call another minute down. We're 2 minutes away from the line. 2 minutes out. Relax those shoulders there, Missy, as we take the catch. As we take the catch. All the tension, all the force, all the load down in the lower body from the hips to the heels, hips to the feet. Shoulders are down so I can see the neck, head high, chin up, chest up, all the way into that catch there, Jill Barker. Posture up. Transfer that weight off the seat to the feet by hanging on that handle. Find that 20 there, Catherine. Find that 20. Stick it down on that 19 is going to make you work higher on that SPI. We might pay for that later. Here we go, rowers, making our final rating shift into our final minute. Over the next 2 strokes, we're working it into 22 strokes a minute. 22. 22 strokes a minute, settling into our new watt range, new watt goal, new watt target. 20 strokes a minute. We're in our final 60 seconds to that line. Sitting up, staying loose, relaxed, and consistent. Complete the stroke. Complete the stroke now. Handle all the way into the body, shoulders down and relaxed, elbows relaxed and behind us. 30 seconds, rowers. 22 strokes a minute. Finding that 22 there, Ira, John. I'm seeing a lot of 20s and 21s, 20s and 21s. Let's find the 22. Tempo matters today. Tempo matters. We want to hit our targets, hit the numbers as we come in. 20 seconds. Hips back, Libby. Last couple strokes, keep it long and relaxed. Rowing it through the finish, and let's continue to paddle. Let's continue to paddle here. We're going to ask for about 30, 45 seconds to the paddle, and then we'll get a total of 3 to 4 minutes off before we begin the next piece. As always, it's just a reminder to sort of assess how we're feeling. Know that we have 3 more and we're trying to get faster throughout. And as we take the next couple of strokes, we are good to go handles down. We are not getting any more than 4 minutes off here, no more than 4 minutes. We've got about the next 3 minutes to take our rest. 3 minutes before we begin our next piece. Nothing's changing about the next one. Same thing. Less than 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes. Coming into about 60 seconds, 60 to 90 seconds here. We're going to begin making our way back to the erg if you're not there already. Hydrate, stretch it out, relax, finish your coffee, whatever it is we need to do to get ready for the next one. And again, we want to assess how we feel after that first one, whether we are going to add a couple of watts or remove a couple of watts. It is okay to back off a percentage or two if it means that we can get to the finish line stronger. Okay, this is about assessing where we're at, progressing through here. If we need to add a percent or two or remove a percent or two on that SPI based on how you feel, that is okay. We're about 30 seconds from getting started, 30 seconds. And again, we're repeating, all right? Let's go ahead and stop that paddle. Getting our feet strapped in. Let's pick up the handles, slide up to the catch. Press the button to sit ready to continue. 16 strokes a minute, rowers. Ready, all. Row. settling in, settling in. One stroke at a time, trying to take the same stroke every time. I want you to think about the drive in two parts here over this 16. While we're down here in this 16 strokes a minute, I want to stay focused on two parts to the drive. The front half with the loading of the legs, the getting connected, the applying, the picking it up, and then the back end where we throw it away, where we accelerate the upper body. Picking the catch up correctly depends on preparing for the catch on the way in. The hips back, arms long, hands out, heads high. All the stuff you hear every single day. The drive has to happen down to the feet. It has to happen from the hips to the feet. We got to drive away. We don't want to be swinging and pressing at the same time. We want to think about that drive as two parts. The loading, the pressing, the stepping, the hanging, the connecting, and then the back end where we accelerate. The handle's supposed to build speed and pick up speed, catch to finish. So load the hips and lift heavy and swing that handle back into the finish. The body's not moving quick, but the handle's moving quick into the finish. Strong drive depends on a well-connected catch, and a strong drive means accelerating through. Complete that stroke through the finish. Big pivot of the hips. I want to see the hips get back. I want to see that we're prepped and ready to go. Nice work on the 16s. Everyone's on target here. Pacing it well. Everyone seems to be on target in their SPI ranges, sitting up and relaxing. We want to be as relaxed as we can through the front half of this piece. Setting ourselves up to go to work later on. Keeping the head still for those of you who move that chin, right? Chin level at the finish. Don't lift at the catch. Chin up, chest up now, keeping the posture up, chest up. Chin and chest in front of the hips. We want to use the whole length of that drive to hit that SPI range. It's not only about the legs or only about the swing. We have to use them together. Use the whole length of that drive to get those watts up. Thinking about both ends of the stroke as we think about lengthening that drive. The moment we drive those legs down, we want to feel that load. We want to transfer the load off the seat to the feet hanging on the handle. If it's not heavy to the handle, the moment we drive through those hips, we're losing connection, losing opportunity, efficiency. Looking strong there, Catherine, at 84% on that SPI. Same thing there, Tristan. High 78s and 80s. As long as we're comfortable and confident in those numbers, stick to it, sticking to it. Working those watts up there, Kevin. Try to use that drive length there, connecting on that catch to finish. As we row shorter, we require more force to get the job done. So we want to stretch and reach out for those watts. Here we go, coming into our next rating shift. Just a little less patient. We just pick the catches up a little bit quicker. Just pick the catch up a little bit quicker as we take it from a 16 to an 18. Nothing drastic, nothing big, no large changes. Same stroke. Keep that chin up there at the finish there, Tristan. Chin up, chest up, posture up, staying tall. Bring the whole chin and chest up over the hips as we pivot the body over. I like to think, lift that chest up over in front of the hips as we bring the bodies over. Hips back, chin and chest up and forward. Rowing proud, rowing long, rowing tall. As we prepare the bodies, as we come into the catch, as we prep the bodies coming into the catch, we want to anticipate. It's about anticipating that transfer of the force. Anticipate, lower back is prepped and ready, core is ready. Protecting that lower back by positioning the hips and core. Keep the belly button high as we finish the stroke. Staying up on those sit bones even as we finish the stroke. Don't lounge, don't collapse back down on that rear end. Sitting up, staying tall. Beyond halfway through this second piece now. We're beyond halfway through this second piece. A reminder to relax where we can. Check yourself. Make sure we're not tense in the neck, arms, and shoulders. Good work, rowers. Good work. Everyone's right in their watt range, looking on target, looking relaxed. Stay relaxed and breathe where we had that opportunity now. That's another minute down as we come a minute left in this 18. Arms long there, Joe. Chin up at the finish there, Tristan. Loose and long there, Kevin. Keeping the chin level there, Mel. These little reminders go a long way here. And I'm hoping that you're reminding yourself too. Every couple of strokes, just pick one thing to focus, one thing to focus. Good work there, Rachel. Big swing and back end acceleration, right? Toss the boat somewhere, pick it up at the catch with the legs and really throw it away as we bring the elbows back into that finish. Good work. Good work there, Rachel. Keeping it up now. As we make this next rating shift, rowers, we're only 3 minutes away from that line. We can see that finish line. It's coming in sight. Let's reset, reassess here. Chin up, chest up, take a deep breath, and let's make that rating shift. We're taking it to a 20 now, taking it to a 20. It's going to start to catch up to us. Let's stay relaxed early, relaxed where we can. Breathe using the length. Good swing into that finish there, Libby. Loading the hips, loading the heels. Nice. Strong drive depending on that well-connected catch, and a strong drive yielding big back end acceleration. Really throw that boat away. Toss that handle back. Shoulders down and relax there, Missy, as we take that catch. Don't want to see any lift in the shoulders. Any of that tension is coming down to the core, hips, hamstrings, and quads. Load them, load them, load them. Squishing the soles of your shoes now, rowers. Nice work there, Laura. Long strokes there this morning, keeping it up as we bring another minute down. Rowers, we're 2 minutes out. We're closer to that finish line, closer to the line. We have one more rating shift before we get there. Let's stay focused. Let's stay on it. Let's stay determined. Nice high hands at the catch there, Barb. Elbows back through the finish there, Jill. Loose and long there, Scott. Ira, hips back, reaching for the catches as we approach 90 seconds. Don't build in the intensity. Stay right in that watt range. We're looking mid 70%. Finding those watts there, Kevin. Let's push for that 130. Push for that 130, 140 at the 20. Rachel, stay out there. Stay long. Let's use that length. Stay out there. Casey lost a little bit of length from the 18 to the 20. All rowers, we're going to make the focus on length through this final minute. The final minute's all focused on the longest strokes we can take at 22 while maintaining the watt range. SPI range, don't go high, 80, 90%. Here we go, making the rate shift, 22s, all around. All boats are moving 22 to the line. Focus on that drive length, reaching horizontally. Sit up, keep the chins level. Stretch it out, hips back, arms out there. Loose, long, relaxed. Take advantage of the elastic properties of the upper body, right? We can sort of stretch out and snap it back to the finish. Good rowers, good rowers. Keep it horizontal, keep it horizontal. I'm starting to see a little bit of vertical lift. Keep the chins level, keep the shoulders down. 15, 20 seconds, coming into our final 5 to 6 strokes. Keep it consistent, steady. Good work, rowers. 22 across that line. Last 10 seconds. Last long strokes. Let's paddle, 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 stay moving and catch that breath. Paddle, stay moving and catch that breath. Nicely done. Good work this morning. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving for at least 20 more seconds here. 20, 30 seconds left. Keep it moving on that paddle, and we can take our break. And if you're ready, if you're ready, you can go feet out, handle down. You can walk it off. Really going to encourage you to stretch out the hips, hamstrings, lower back, cross the leg, cross over, stretch it out, stretch it out. This is definitely starting to bring the intensity a little more than what we've experienced so far. These are not short, powerful pieces, and they're not long, steady state pieces. The intensity is going to climb. We have two more. It's going to climb. It's going to get a little challenging. I just want you to think about those last 3 to 4 minutes of this previous piece. The next two are going to get a little tougher as we do more work. You're going to start to see a little transition as we make the focus out of winter into sprint racing season. You're going to see some more AT work. You're going to begin pushing the limits a little bit. We'll continue to do some power and intensity pieces as well as some steady state, but you're definitely going to see some more work like this where we're driving the intensity up. You'll see the focus go from low to mid rates to the mid to higher rates. About 90 seconds left on our rest here, rowers, about 90 seconds. Nice to see so many of you, by the way. I had about a dozen on last night doing the same workout. It is kind of nice to see one workout from one session to the next. We can kind of see what they did. About 60 seconds. And it's just a reminder that those last 3 minutes where it starts to get really tough and challenging, those are the most important minutes here. Those are the most critical minutes we're trying to practice. It's hard in the winter to maybe think about what the last 300-400 meters feels like in a 1K or 2K, whatever your race distance is. But I'm going to remind you, think back to how intense that feels in the last 200, 300, 400 meters of a sprint race piece. And that's what we kind of want to work on in terms of practicing and getting through those last 3 minutes. As it gets tough, let's work on staying consistent, staying steady, staying on target. Let's get our feet strapped in if they're not there already. We're looking on our final 15, 20 seconds before we get started. Nice work there, Thais. You're into your last piece there. Coming in last 5 minutes. Keep it up. Everyone else, pick up the handles. Let's sit up at the catch. Let's push the button on the PM5 to continue. Take a deep breath. Sitting ready. Ready, y'all. Rope. 16. No build, big build, nothing fancy. The same stroke off the line. Building good habits here. Building those good habits. Handle steady and still, in and out of that catch. Right, when we're in the boat, we're not just bouncing the handles around all over the place. We'd be tossing left, right, up and down all over the place with the set. Let's stay steady. Let's keep that handle within about an acceptable 2-inch range, up and down on that catch. Not too high, not too low. Just right. Nice work. Seeing some high 60% on the SPI, up to some low to mid 80s. Nice work there, Mel, on that drive length. Just another reminder on that chin. Same thing there, Casey. Chin at that finish, just a little reminder. I like that we're sending the head and shoulders back to the finish, but let's keep the chin level. Good, there we go. Nice change. Think about where we're sending our body, where we're sending our weight, where we're sending our mass, right? Everything is accelerating in one direction. Don't take momentum and mass into the catch, right? That's the wrong way. That's the starting line. Bring the feet to you. Bring the hips underneath you into the finish line. You're not actually going to the catch. You're bringing the catch to you. Small little focus like that can go a long way, even on the erg. Focus on a big pivot, draw the hips under us, bring the feet to us, let the catch come to us. We're not going to the catch, bring it to you. Good work on the targets there. Watt range is right where we need to be. Nice stroke there, Thais. Catching through the foot stretcher, driving it away. Nice. Another reminder about thinking of that drive almost in two parts, right? The front end, the press, the load, the connect, and then the back end, the swing, the acceleration. Throwing puddles, tossing puddles now. Listen to that fan go loud, louder, loudest. Let's focus on the back end, the complete the stroke, the finish the stroke, the loudest part of the drive, the fastest part of the drive. The only thing that's moving quick here is the handle into the finish. Everything else is steady, controlled, a deliberate movement, precise, detailed. Another minute down. Good work. Looking strong. Keeping those arms there along there, Jill. I like how relaxed and loose those arms are. Hanging from the bones there. Nice work there, John. Looking right back in that watt range. Looking a little lower earlier, but that's 74% here. Consistent on the output. Let's go consistent stroke for stroke. Over the next 60 seconds, let's just focus on the consistent, steady strokes. Taking 2 strokes in a row on the same watts, 3 strokes in a row on the same watts. Let's get it done. Finding those strokes, finding the consistency, and let's make that change. Let's focus and move up to that 18. Let's find consistency at the 18. New targets, same stroke, same cycle, same sequence, practicing those habits. Let's still focus on a lot of length here, pulling the hips back. Get that last 10, 15% of the pivot and rock over. That last little bit of rock over is critical. Nice work there, Ira. Completing that stroke, lay it back a little bit. Can find a little bit of length on that back end, just a touch. Stretching and reaching there, Kevin. Here we go, halfway, another minute down, 5 minutes in, 5 on. Whip that handle back into the finish there, Missy, all the way through, all the way into the body. Chin up, chest up there, Tristan. Great posture starts at the finish. Let's carry the posture to the pivot. Posture to the pivot. Chest up as we pivot. Handle still in and out of that catch there, Alyssa. No sudden movements, nothing fast with the handle, especially nothing vertical. Steady with the hands now, rowers. Find that length there, Tristan. Stretch it out, reaching, getting a little short on that 18. There we go. You just picked it up, found 14 centimeters. Keep it out, keep it stretched, keep it loose, keep it long. Loose and long, rowers, loose and long. Check the elbows, no stiff arms. Good pivot there, Barb. Head and shoulders in front of the hips. Bring that chest in front of the hips. Good work. Good work. Little higher with the hands on the way into that catch there, Barb. There we go. That's it. That's it. That's it. You can keep the finish position the same. Just focus on that catch with the hands a little higher. Nice change. Nice change. Finding a little bit of length as we connect there. Getting the blade in the water, hands up before we press, right? That catch position is a part of the recovery, not a part of the drive. Arrive in the right position, and then we press, then we load, then we apply forces. Use that length there, Tristan. Use that length to try and find that watt range. Here we go. Over the next couple of strokes, we're making our next rating shift, which means the finish line is in sight. 3 minutes now, rowers. 3 minutes. Complete the stroke. Complete the stroke. Laying it back, finishing with the hands into the body. Drive the handle through the body, through the finish. Nice work, Tice. Reaching now, rowers. Reaching now, rowers. Looking good there, Mel. Reminder on the chin, but looking good. Driving long, right on target, above the target on that SPI range. Looking good, looking strong. Kevin, let's reach and stretch for about 20 more watts here. As we come in another minute down, we're looking at 2 to the line. 2 minutes to that finish. Good work, Casey. Focus on the first 6 inches of that drive. Hips and hands connected. Core engaged. Control the acceleration into the catch there, Laura. Slide control into the catch. Nice drive length there, Laura. Keep it up, keep it up. Find the length there, Missy. Same thing happened last time, that 18 to the 20. We lost a little bit of length. There we go, Tristan. 145 to a 136, finding a little inconsistency here. Let's find consistency with the length as we come into our last minute. We made the same focus on the last one. As we take the shift to a 22, let's focus on staying long in a strong position. 1 minute to the finish line here. 1 minute. We can see it. It's getting closer. Let's stay focused. Shifting on the rates 22, 22. Just a little quicker in the change of direction. We have less time to make any extra movements. The upper bodies are still quiet and in control. Finding the rate, 22s, 22s, 22s. Keeping along there, Rachel. Barb, keep that length out there as we took the rating up. 30 seconds, rowers, 30 seconds. Long, strong. Straight into the body there, Rachel. Straight into the body there, Rachel. Last few strokes on 10 to 15 seconds left. Row it through that finish line. Row it through the finish here. Paddle. Paddle, great work. Keeping it up. Stay moving. Let's catch that breath. Fantastic work there, rowers. We are way beyond halfway. We can go handles down if we want to take that break here. We're looking at 3 minutes on the rest, 3 minutes on the rest. And it looks like we'll be finishing up right on time. And just a reminder, last day of winter camp is going to be December 30th, where we actually have the Road Olympics racing scheduled. So we have a minute and a 1K race scheduled for December 30th. It's free for anyone too. So even if anyone who didn't participate in camp wants to come in and rip out a 1K or a 1 minute, invite your friends by all means. And then we've got sprint training camp that begins on January 6th. So we've got a new training camp starting for anyone else who does also want to jump in. So just a reminder, invite your friends. It's not too late. Any of the teammates want to hop in and train, January 6th, start date of the next training camp. And for Row Olympics, we have a Row Olympics racing track inside of Erg Zone. You can find it on any of our social media or on the website or something. Because we host the race on Erg Zone as well. So you all have the app already, obviously, since we use it in our training. We will use that for racing on December 30th. So if you have any questions about anything, just get in touch and let me know. 1 minute left in our rest, 1 minute left in our last rest, coming into our last piece. How are we feeling? We doing all right? Gonna make it through this next 10 minutes? All right. I got no thumbs down, so that's a good sign. It's a good sign.
I've got to go. Thank you, Stephen. This is Tristan. Thank you.
Tristan, have a wonderful day. Nice work this morning.
Thanks, you too. Thanks.
About 30 seconds. If we're not at our ergs, let's make our way there. If our feet aren't strapped in, let's get them there. So for this last piece is about setting yourself up to make moves in that last 3 minutes. We'd like to see you just keep it right in that watt range, mid 70s through that first 7 minutes. And if you have it left in those last three, we'll go to work. We'll keep the rating where it needs to be, but you can go to work on the watts. If you have it in you, I wanted you to push in those last 3 minutes, but let's focus on getting there first. All right. Let's go ahead and pick up those handles, get those feet strapped in. Let's get ready to go. Slide up to the catch, pick up the handles, press the button to continue, sitting ready, 16, ready all, row. We've taken lots of strokes this morning, so let's continue to build good habits. Movements that only contribute to what we're looking to get done, contributing to the watts, making your job a little easier, because how we row it matters. Strong position. We're as tall as we can be. Neck, arms, and shoulders are relaxed. I want you to sort of feel that the shoulder blades are kind of moving around, right? They're moving out in front as we get connected to the catch. I know that's more difficult for some people than others. So let's focus on getting loose and long. Looking good there, Missy. Still nice, long, strong strokes. Same thing there, Catherine, looking good. I like the body position approaching the catch, keeping the head a little high. Good, keeping it tall. Again, steady with the hands there, Alyssa, in and out of that catch. Keeping those knees down as we pivot those hips there, Joe. Set the body in front of the hips as the knees come up. As the knees come up, we're still bringing the body forward, bringing the hips back. Good work there, Joe. Long strokes. Let's find some length here, Jill. Strong to the finish there. Looks like we're losing a little bit of connection and acceleration around the back end. There it is. That's it. That's it. We're talking 15, 20 centimeters we're changing there. It's not, we don't want to crush the finish or hit it hard around the back end, but we want to stay loaded and connected. There we go. Big change in the watts just by adding that length. Nicely done. Breathing and relaxing there, Alyssa, Mel, for the ones that I can see your heart rate. Relax where we have the chance. Load the legs there first, Mel, and then pivot. Thinking about the drive as that two halves, as we mentioned earlier. The push, the press, the load, and then the swing. Bend it and then send it. Push and then swing. Seeing a couple 148 drive lengths there, Mel. It's good, but you were bouncing a little bit from 4.2 to 4.8, working to find that consistency. There we go. Finding consistency around that 145. Chin level, long, connected to the finish. Back end swing now, rowers. Complete the stroke, complete the drive. No need for fast hands away, but we want to bring the acceleration. Good work. Stay focused over the next 4 to 5 strokes. Stay focused on how we're feeling through the next 4 to 5 strokes, how we're feeling in terms of our stroke cycle, how we're approaching the catch, how we're applying forces, how we're picking it up. Here we go over the next 2 strokes. We're making the rating shift. No more 16 rowers. No more 16. We're on the 18s, making the shift, making the move. We're getting to work as we get to that finish line. We're getting to the real finish line this time. Good work, good work, good work. Mouths are open. We're breathing. Relax where we can. Check those arms. They're long but not stiff. Don't lock those elbows, rowers. Sit up, get long, get relaxed. Use those legs there, Kevin. Drive that erg across the room. Drive that erg into the wall in front of you. From the hips, let's leg press that catch away. Good work there, Libby. Reaching, stretching, legs off the front end, legs only off the front end. That's another minute down, rowers. We've got 5 minutes, 5 in, 5 to go. You guys are rowing stroke for stroke. Boats are next to each other. Let's keep them moving. 1 minute at a time, 1 stroke at a time. Finding the 18s, finding the 18s. Toss those elbows back now. Chest up there, Missy, in and out of that catch. Just a little reminder on that posture, just a little change. Good work, good work. Nicely done. Nice work there, Casey. Keeping those legs moving, legs down, hips and hands connected, hips and hands connected. As we bring another minute down, rowers, we're a minute away from our next rating shift. This was the shift that we were talking about. We've got 1 minute into our final 3 minutes. Over the next 45 seconds, sit up, breathe, get focused on the shift. We're all making the same move at the same time together. This is where we really need to excel. This is where the strokes count. This is where the work matters the most. It's all about building ourselves into this position. We put ourselves in a position to succeed. Now it's a matter of grinding it out and going to work to get the job done. Another reminder to sit up and relax as we do this. We want to bring the intensity and bring the power, but we've got to stay loose, long, relaxed, and effective. We're taking efficient, effective strokes, long, strong strokes. I see those heart rates creeping. They're going to creep, but let's drive through. Here we go, rowers, bringing it in 2 strokes, making the rating shift. Rowers, we're there 20. We are 3 minutes away from that finish, 3 minutes away from the finish. The real finish line is in sight. Everyone's on 20. We need consistent. We're going stroke for stroke, rowers, 20 strokes a minute. Anyone pushing above that 80% SPI at 20? Who's going to drive these boats home? Who's going to drive the bow ball forward? Get it out, get it long, pushing them down the line. Beautiful. I'm seeing some mid to high 80% on our SPI, right on that 20 stroke rating. Solid work here, rowers. Solid. Reaching long there, Kevin. Getting out there, John. For my guys, a reminder, sit up, hips back, stretch it out. Lower back hamstrings. Get them out there, get them long. That's another minute down, rowers. We're a minute closer to the finish. We've got 2 to go. 2 to go. Yes, yes, yes. Keeping them moving now. We're staying long. Don't sacrifice that drive length now. Use that drive length. Whip that tool out of its toolbox. Let's go. Get out there. Get long. Let's reach for the catch. We're going to keep the focus on that last minute on lengthen. We're going to look for the longest, strongest strokes at 22. You've got a cap on 22 strokes a minute. We're going to bring it in this final 60 seconds. Get it there, Libby. Come on. We need the horsepower. We need the horsepower. Let's get it done there, Missy, Joe, Barb. Let's get him out there. All right, rowers, here we go. Coming in, approaching our final minute. We're in position to PR. We're in position to win. What are we going to do? We need to make our final shift. We need to go on 22 strokes a minute. Rowers, I need every watt. We need every watt to get the job done. 22, pushing SPI, 22, pushing watts. You are capable of this. You have more. You have more than you think. Let's get out, let's get long, let's get strong. Legs down, watts up, reaching for the watts. Rowers, 30 seconds to the line. It's in sight. We're reeling it in. 22 strokes a minute, 22. Let's get them done. Let's get them done. 20 seconds. Keep it moving there, Missy. Keep it moving. Here we go. 10, 15 seconds out on the line. 22 strokes a minute. Rowers, power through. Legs down. Watts up. Last couple strokes. We need inches. We need inches. Let's paddle, 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 paddle. Stay moving. Keep it moving. Great work there. Great work. Let's move in as we catch that breath. Give yourself 60, 90, 2 minutes here. Give yourself some time to catch that breath. Stay moving. Keep the chin and chest up. Great job there, Ira. All numbers right in that mid 70% range. Last one on 82%. Great work. Nice way to push it out there, John. You know, again, I'll to remind the rowers last night, and I'll remind you guys, as I mentioned it earlier before we got started, but it's so important to recognize that the watt range is going to be pretty wide and it's going to be vastly different as we get into these higher intensity pieces. We think about who we're training, right? We've got some big, strong gentlemen on the team. You know, we've got some smaller masters women, some high school ladies as well. So like for the guys who are big and strong on peak power, your ceiling is higher. Your watt range might be 70%, even down in 66, 68%. I've seen that for a lot of the guys who rode this piece so far. For the ladies who maybe we don't have quite as high of a peak power, but we're much more where we excel more on the fitness, then you might be able to push upwards of 80, 85%. if you've gotten stronger in the first 5-6 weeks of training and your SPI test hasn't been adjusted, you're going to be pushing those SPI ranges higher. So it's just always important to sort of see where we're at, see how we feel. It's not a pass or fail if you don't hit this 72% range, okay? It's just important to recognize about where we should be, assess what it feels like, get comfortable and familiar with what it feels like. So on race day, it's not a new feeling. It is exactly 31 minutes past the hour, rowers. If you have the time to paddle and stretch, as always, I'm going to encourage you to do it, especially after a piece like this, a little more intensity than we've done so far. If you have any questions or anything, let me know, but that is it for the day. Great job, rowers, all around. Nice work, nicely done.
Thanks, Stephen. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Absolutely, you do the same.
Have a good day. Thank you.
You too. Bye, Rachel.
Thanks, Steven. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, Mel. Have a wonderful day. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye,
I
Barb.
just have to tell you, I elbowed my poor dog in the face on a couple of.
Oh, did
Like
you?
the cover's right there, and then I was like, bam! I was like, uh-oh, buddy.
Bad spot. I didn't see it that time, but I've done that before.
You'll learn. Thanks, Steven. See you
Have a
later.
great day.
Uh,
Thank you, Steve.
Of course, Kevin, great work this morning. Casey, Libby, nice job as well. Joe, fantastic work. Talk to you soon, Libby. Nice work. Steady. Right on target. How'd that feel?
Fine.
5?
It's fine. Drop it. Oh, hold on. It's on. Dropping the rating a little bit makes it less, I don't know, like I've done it 100 times. So I just did it.
Look at you. Right on it.
One less. It changes it up. It makes it a different.
Everything -1. Yeah, but good. I mean, it didn't catch up to you too much.
No,
Good.
it's fine.
Well, you've been rowing and racing a bit, so that's good.
Well, I don't know about that. I'm
Well,
painfully out of shape, but we'll get back there.
We'll get back there. We'll get back there. Nice work today. All right, I'll see you soon. I'll talk to you later. Bye,
See you,
Joe. Bye,
Steven.
Libby.